Good morning. Welcome to Just Talking 24, page 68. This morning's word, or this week's word, is a word that I've talked about a lot. And it's actually what governs how you act. It governs almost everything in this world. It's called control. There are, there are many types of control. Control means you just have, the ability to do what something does, right? And people use the control. Power, control gives you power, gives you money. And what's been happening this week with Iran, okay? Um, it is control. President Trump doesn't want Iran to have nuclear weapons. And which is true because these clowns will use it. Believe me, they will use it. I don't trust them because they say, yeah, whatever they say, they do against. So yeah, they want control of the whole world. It's all about control. Well, one of the things that's a sidestep of that is our gas prices. Okay, and they're claiming that because of the unrest and because of the war in Iran, our prices have gone up 60, 70%. Okay? And you think about it. The US gets what, 1% of their oil, maybe from that region of the world. How in the you know what I mean? Would 1% control 60% of the retail price? It doesn't make sense, folks. It doesn't make sense. It's because of the control. The oil companies. If any of you are old enough to remember the great oil embargo back in 1972, 73, we had long lines of gas because of the embargo. We had plenty of gas. Yeah, just that I was working at a service station back then, and my boss was saying he cannot, they're it's not because there's a shortage. They're just saying you only can have this many gallons. I mean, the tanks was full. The tanks down at Campbell Industrial Park, those storage tanks were full of fuel. That refinery was working 24 hours a day. Nothing changed. The only thing was the oil companies just tightened everything up. Control. And they raised our gas prices from 38 cents a gallon to we were paying per liter for a little while. People would go, "What's a liter?" It's a quart. What? We gotta pay about a quart. Yep. And the prices, and ever since they went up, they went past $2. Never went back down. Control. Amazing, yeah. Um, and then I remember when I worked weekends, we worked mornings, right? Okay, people line up to get gas. You could get gas if depending on your uh, license plate number. If it was even, you get it on even days. If it was odd, you get it on odd days. If it was special, you get it on even days. And you only could fill up if you had a quarter tank or less. And I, and I remember with a flashlight, 5:30 in the morning, going down the line, checking everybody's gauges. And my boss made us carry a baseball bat. You know, how'd you like to see this? 6'3", 395-pound animal with a flashlight and a baseball bat. Yeah, no one gave me trouble. And everybody was cool. But the funny part was when we closed the service station, if you looked, all of our islands all had cars in them. And if you look really carefully, the cars on the inside islands all had hoses going into them. Yeah, we used to pump our own gas. My dad never had to stay in one gas line. Yeah, he always had a full tank. Yeah, he would tell his friend, he'd tell his coworkers, because they'd be talking about, standing in line. He goes, yeah, really bad. And he only laugh. But yeah, it's all control. That's what it is. So, like, okay, when the prices of crude goes up, instantly the gas prices go up. But that gas, you know, and then when it goes down, it takes 6 to 8 months to go down. And they say, oh, because the the oil that we had to buy back when it was expensive, it's about a 6 to 8 month supply. No, it's not, folks. We run on a supply and demand business. As you buy it, you use it. As you buy it, you use it. What we do have is federal reserves. We do have certain, crude oil reserves. But the stuff that you got was probably refined last week. It's all about control. It's all about BS. And you can't get the companies to admit it. A good example: the price of diesel fuel. Yeah, diesel fuel costs more than super. That's what we call super. The highest octane gas you get was super, or ethyl. For no, not ethyl mertz, ethyl glycine alcohol or something like that. Yeah, it was the percentage of the octane percentage in the fuel. So it would be called ethyl. You had regular and you had ethyl. But yeah, diesel fuel was more expensive than ethyl, than super. And yet, diesel fuel is a step up from heating oil. That's why diesel trucks, they burn so dirty. When you see a truck start up, those big the ones that pull the containers, the rigs, you get the black smoke come out. Yeah, it's a very dirty running oil. And it would be dirtier in America, but we take out a lot of the sulfur. That's what the sulfur burns with the fuel and makes carbon. Yeah, that's why in Europe it's real dirty. But in America, our diesel fuel is just a little bit cleaner because it's less sulfur in it. But we would use diesel fuel to clean parts at the service station because diesel fuel is cheaper than kerosene. Yeah, diesel fuel is less refined than kerosene. And yet it costs more than ethyl. So I made I was talking to this guy who works at the refinery, and I told him, hey, what you guys got to do to the fuel? Because, at that time, I was paying $1.57 for a gallon of diesel fuel. When super was like, I think, $1.30, $1.28, $1.30, someplace around there. But it was more expensive than super. I said, so what you guys got to do to the gasoline to make it diesel? And he said, no, brah. Look who uses diesel. Commercial trucks. So all they do is just pass the price along to the consumer. And look what kind of cars are using diesel. And in those days, the only diesels had were Mercedes. Yeah, those kind of cars. So those people can't afford the diesel. That's how come diesel is so expensive. It's a cost that you can just pass it along. If regular gasoline, like the gas that you buy for your household, you cannot pass that prices along. All you can probably do is get a tax credit on the fuel charge if you use enough of it. But he said no. That's why it's so expensive. It's because of who the buyers are, and they're mostly commercial. And commercial stuff can be passed on to consumers. Us guys. See the control? Sick, yeah? And that's what's happening with our oil. Our oil is control. I mean, everything is control. Look at, and I don't want to get in trouble saying this, but look at 9/11. Just saw they're bringing it back again. And if you watch this, okay, for one thing, a lot of people are saying they never saw the second plane hit the building, but they saw the blow, the crack. But if you look at and this person pointed it out, if you look at what kind of explosion there was, that was a pyrotechnic explosion. It's one of those Hollywood explosions. You know why? And it wasn't jet fuel, because jet fuel is very, very heavy. It's just above kerosene. It's not as vaporous as gasoline, which still is heavy. Gas just sprays. So if a plane actually hit that building and the fuel actually spilled out like that on fire, the people below would be burned, because that fuel has to burn on the way down. It's not an instant. It's not a gas. It's a liquid. And so what happens is the liquid starts vaporizing, and it's the vapors that burn. That's what you see burning, vapors. So for liquid, unless it's a very, like alcohol fast. That's why alcohol, you can barely see the flame. Yeah. Alcohol burns with a blue flame and fast. But fuel is heavy. Fuel is dirty. So you would have seen everything coming out. And the people on the bottom would get all burned too, because of this rain of fire. But never happened. Just had that boom, and that was it. And then the plane, and then the two buildings, and that was a planned implosion, demolition. Why? Because they want to control. Why? Because we're going to go after the Afghanistan, after the weapons of mass destruction. Remember those, right? I know I told you that story because I picked me picking up my sister from the airport right after 9/11. She came in for a visit, and so they stopped. I had an Astro van, Chevy Astro van, so I got stopped at a roadblock. Guys with their M16s and state sheriffs, right? Watch out for them. But anyway, I had to get out of my car, produce my license, registration, proof of insurance, open up the entire car, open up the hood. They went around. They didn't have dog. They didn't have a sniffing dog, but they went, with the mirrors and everything underneath. So I'm watching the guy, and I asked him, brother, what you looking for? He goes, oh, we're looking for weapons of mass destruction. I said, okay, what does a weapon of mass destruction look like? He goes, I don't know. So you're looking for something that you don't know what you're looking for. Yeah. All right. Hey, I don't have to make this stuff up, folks. It's for real. And that's what happened. And they searched my truck. And that thing took about 20 minutes, maybe late for pick her up. And I told her what happened. And my sister just cracked up. And she goes, and what? You didn't give him, you didn't give him heat. I told him, you want me to pick you up, don't you? You don't want me to get arrested, right? She goes, oh, okay, I guess not. Because, no, they were serious. These guys were seriously looking for something that they didn't know what they were looking for. And I had to laugh, but they didn't see anything funny. And I guess if you pay me enough, I don't see anything funny either, but I would be cracking up. If I was with sheriff, I would be, you want me to what? But that was all control. Look at COVID, right? Wear the masks, if you don't get the vaccine, you lose your job. When they found out the vaccine was totally useless. But do these people, I don't know if they can sue. If they can sue the Biden administration for that. I lost my job for bullshit. And then you go back and say, I make $120,000 a year. It's been 6 years. You owe me $740,000 or $720,000 plus damages. The U.S. don't have enough money. But I just don't know if that's ever going to happen. Sad. It was really sad. And then we find out that Biden wasn't even up here conscious, so a lot of his signatures weren't his signature. Was the electric gun. That'll never be. I don't think in our lifetime it'll ever be solved. Maybe, in a couple of 100 years when there's another regime, another government, this is what not to do, and all the crap gonna come out. But by then it's too late. Really, it's too late because it's happened. It's just corruption, power, control. Control is mean, and then control also can be personal for you. Self-control. Yeah, and I mean, I gotta tell you, like I used to use a lot of constraint. As I get older, you get less constraint. You could give a rat's, what, about control. But physically, I can't do what I used to do. I lost a lot of my ability, my legs. I told you I'm nursing a uh, hamstring injury, and it's doing better. Although I reacted, well, not react, just re-irritated it yesterday. My wife's peritoneal dialysis stuff came in, and I tried to lift a couple of and the case is only 16 pounds. It's not that I can't lift the case; it's just that I cannot bend and lift. If it's from my waist and lift up and lift above my head, no problem. It's all upper, upper body strength. When I gotta utilize my legs, I got no legs. Yeah, it's. Then I remember the movie Rocky and Burgess Meredith, right? Telling him, one of the most important things is your legs, and that's why you got the chicken. Rocky had to go catch the chicken. It's true. Your legs are so important. You lose those suckers, you lose everything. Wow, it's really bad. But that's just point of getting old. Oh, and I'm going for surgery. Setting up. I got cataracts. And I didn't know everybody, if you live long enough, you get cataracts. It's just the hazing of the lens. Yeah, the inner, yeah, not the cornea, but the inner lens. And all they do is they take it out and they put a new one in, and you're set. Cool. You know, the actual procedure, they say, takes about 10 to 15 minutes. Spooky, yeah. But 10 to 15 minutes, they change your eyesight gets back. Because what was happening was my computer. I was using, first I got to use glasses, and then I had to change the resolution on my computer. I've got the resolution to like 600, which means that all of the information, it doesn't fit on one screen. I got to move it around sometimes. Yeah. It's I know. That's it's called getting old. So I went for my yearly visit yesterday, and my eye doctor, his name is Brian Kubo. Hey, Dr. Kubo. Anyway, he was saying, yeah, it's time. I've been watching your right eye, and your right eye is worse than your left eye. So he says, so he's gonna make me an appointment to see this, I guess not orthopedic. Anyway, eye surgeon, and he's we'll fix it up. But another step in the path of life. I tell you, after 25, just downhill. But yeah, it's because you know why? Because we got no control. Yep. Imagine if everybody had perfect control over their lives. Oh, wouldn't be much of a fun. Wouldn't be fun, yeah. I was watching on X this one girl. Um, she had a run in with this other girl in Australia, in a drive-through, and she real cocky, and she goes, "What you gonna do? Run me over? What you gonna do? Run me over?" And the girl started going. So the girl that was saying, "Run me over," jumps on her hood and holds on to the windshield wipers. Saying, "What you gonna do now? What you gonna do now?" So the girl inside started going faster and faster, and you watch the face of the girl holding on to that windshield wiper. There comes a point when she realizes, I screwed up. Except they don't use the word screwed, right? But I screw, and you watch her face, and then you watch her slip to the left, to the left, to the left, gone. So I guess she got off. And so, I looked into it. What happened? The driver of the car got 6 months of license revocation, well, suspension. The girl that caused this whole thing got nothing. Well, she probably got some broken bones and some, scrapes and bruises, which is what she deserved. She earned those, but she got nothing. It, it to me, it was like, wait a minute, she should get something, causing on disorderly conduct or some kind of, penalty, because you can't do that kind of stuff without getting. But never said that justice is fair, right? Although supposed to be. All control. Yeah. So, the gas prices, people don't get all riled about it. It's gonna come down when the oil companies make enough money. Hey, they got it up now. It's gonna be up through Christmas. Gonna take 6 to 8 months. This is only the kind. April, 8 months takes us to December, Christmas. So you're gonna be paying high prices all through the rest of the year until they can find another reason for the prices to go up. It's sickening, and they try to blame Trump, and these people are believing it because people are just looking for a reason. They don't care if it's bullshit. It's just they want a reason. Yeah. That's why I tell people, if you got a problem with God, sue God. Take him to court. Really. You be the plaintiff, he's the defendant. God is the defendant. And when you get to court, if he doesn't show, you win. You win by default. That's what it's called. He defaults. And so you got this piece of paper saying you won a case against God. Now you just gotta try and collect. Control. But anyway, yeah, this is going to be a really quick one because I either can go 2 days talking about it or just go 20 minutes. And I'd rather do the 20 minutes and you guys rather hear me only going 20 minutes. But this week, nothing much is happening. I listened to the talk radio a lot. And what's funny is a lot of things I've been telling you about, not about the aliens part, but about how our brain works, physical and mental and stuff like that, and works with energy and stuff. These doctors with toilet paper up the yin yang are saying the same thing. So hey, give perps to the Portuguese, not bad for reasoning. I didn't need books. I used my brain. But anyway, you guys have a great week. See what's happening this week. Nothing really. We had the Merry Monarch hula the hula show, hula program, and my sister-in-law's kumuhula, Mapuana de Silva. She took first place, so good for her. Congratulations. And anyway, from me to you, like, subscribe, tell your friends, drop me some questions. I'm running out of stuff to talk about. I don't want to talk about, things that happened 400 years ago and things that are happening now. Because the things happening now are way more stupid than 400 years ago. But, yeah. So anyway, you guys have a great week. And ahui ho. Malama pono. And from me to you, always, aloha. Be safe, be good, work hard, and stay in control. Bye-bye.